Today we're looking at banned cards, specifically banned by a local game store for Commander. They don't like these cards. They're evil. We're going to continue this series with Allurin. This is a 4-mana enchantment, which is basically saying that this local game store doesn't like you playing cards for free. Free is too cheap of a price. If you come here, you must pay for your spells, because any player may play creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less without paying their mana costs, and as though they had flash. Got to keep this chaos down to a minimum. You play your spells and you play them on your turn. Otherwise, you're otherwise it's a no-no. If Nikachu ran a local game store, which cards would I ban? You know, that's a good question. I would probably have 2 pods, one no bans. Like, you're only going to get one of 2 situations. One pod, sorry, like one section, no bans, except for maybe the Moxen. And then the other side were heavy-headed bannings, where I'm banning all the mana rocks. There's going to be no fast mana and super fair play conditions. But a lot of other stuff is still going to run. You can still have extra turns and everything else. Going to play Magic as Magic is meant to be played. There's a lot of different, a lot of ways of playing Magic here. You got to enjoy all of it. So orange today. Well, you know, I need the color of the banning. You know, I need the color of the ban hammer, and that's going to be very orange/red. I think it's a red background. Is it red? It's red. You want orange? This is more orange. No, I'm in a red day here. Does it change daily? No, it changes on the mood of the show. So, okay, so Allurin is a card. I don't know, is this even worth banning to all of you? It's a combo card. Let's not forget that this technically is a combo card. If you play creatures that bounce other creatures, then you can just flip them back and forth, get free ETBs, and get a free chain of, like if there's an ETB, target opponent loses 1 life. That can be part of the combo chain that can help kill your opponent. So I'm assuming it's not the free spells that's probably the problem. It's the fact that it's a one-shot combo. It's not like, but it's not a 1-card combo. Usually this is like at least 3-4 cards. You know, you got a lot of, you need a lot of pieces of this puzzle to be put together in order to win. Very, very restrictable. Bryce is like, nah, I don't even know what you guys think. Any player is the cool part. What does that even mean? Anyway, Allurin it's banned in the store. Let's move on to the next one. I play this card. Back to basics. How do people feel about this? We have a 3-mana enchantment. Non-basic lands don't untap during their controller's untap steps. It's a painful card. You know, it's only a painful card if you are playing a deck full of money, because you have the better non-basic lands, or just non-basic lands in general. If you are super poor, then you probably don't have a problem. You just have a deck full of basic lands. You used Evolving Wilds to go find those basic lands. You can get pretty far with a very cheap mana base these days. I'm pretty sure you can roughly comfortably play a Wooburg deck off of just pure basic lands and maybe some 2-mana mana rocks. Has the Soccer Mania gotten to me yet? No, I don't watch that stuff at all. I'm from Canada. Our team sucks. I mean, I have nothing to cheer for. Canada has never been anything in soccer, so why watch? I watch the Sea Bears in basketball. Canadian Basketball League, that's the best I get. Connor says, play more basics. That's right. If you don't, hey, there's always a way to play around these cards. Like, these days, like a Harbinger of the Seas and Blood Moon aren't really all that good in Modern, because all the decks are like 2-color decks. Most of the decks are 2-color decks. And a lot of people just aggressively fetch out their basics. Back to base. I would like back to basics, though, in Modern. I would love it just to shaft the Urza land decks or the Eldrazi land decks. This is the card we probably needed more than Harbinger of the Seas when they came out with Modern Horizons 3. Fair against greedy decks. Jeff says, why ban that? Isn't that a staple stacks card? It's because people don't like their mana being messed with. You know, conspiracy theory here, because I don't know this local game store, but there is some incentive for people to be buying the expensive lands. You know, I never thought about that. what if all the land destruction or all the land hate is banned because you want to encourage people to be buying lands? Like, why would anyone want to buy like a $500 taiga when it's just going to get blown up by or destroyed by back to basics? Or sorry, destroyed by strip mine, shut down by back to basics. Yeah, don't play with the YKill says do not mess with a player's mana, ban it. Well, you don't like this card. Fan Factor, well, if untapped land effects are banned, then this is hard to counteract. Gillum says, we're still going to the local game stores ban list. How many cards they ban? They banned a lot. I mean, we're just going to look at the enchantments today. We're probably going to have quite a few more shows of this. Yeah, Canada is an ice sport nation for the most part. We need to play soccer on ice. Gillum, hey, we scored our first international soccer point. It's something. I know. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that single step finally scored a goal, but we have a long way to go before we even win a game. Little Deadfly says, I say don't ban this. I would like it. The Fan Factor says, the untap your lands permanence cards are banned, so there is no way to counteract it. What do you mean there's no? You destroy it with enchantment destruction. You heard of disenchant? Have you heard of farewell? Have you heard of Boseiju? I mean, this is literally a permanent. You know, when it comes to Armageddon, it blows up your lands. It goes straight to the graveyard. They ain't coming back unless you have a Crucible of Worlds. When it comes to back to basics, it's just a permanent on the battlefield that says your stuff doesn't untap, but you can destroy the enchantment. Problem solved. Old boy says this local game store has never heard of enchantment removal. Exactly. I mean, this is wild. Of all the land destruction, this is the most interactable that you can get out of it. It's also possible you play back to basics. It doesn't even do very much versus your opponents. They might have mana dorks. They have mana rocks. This doesn't shut down those things. Winner says, if your deck is weak to back to basics, it's a deck building skill issue. You know what? I mean, yes and no. Like, I'm not really going to fault people. Like, let's say you're a 5-color deck. Like, what are you going to do? You can be. Is your deck really going to function off of fetching basics? Is it even possible? I honestly don't think so. So, like, when it comes to a 4 or 5-color deck, there's just, like, no way to play around this. When it comes to, like, 3 colors, that's possible. You can fetch, like, basic, and I think your deck is going to function pretty well. But when you're, like, a 5-color deck, and you have double green, double red in some cards, you have double blue, double black, it's just not going to happen. You need to get them non-basics out. Gillum says, enchantment destruction is for chumps? I just pack an extra creature destruction. Old boy says soccer on ice actually exists, but it's incredibly niche. That's so niche I'd never heard of it. Steve Cooper, best red has to get rid of it is Chaos Warp. Look, if you're red, you're probably mono red. If you're mono red, you don't care. You don't care about this thing, for the most part. This local game store has 99% of mono red population, no enchant removal. Curling is the weirdest sport I've ever seen. Oh yeah, that people love that in Canada. I can't watch it though. No, it's too boring for me. Jeff, on a personal note, I'd be having more fun playing against Stacks decks than deal with people who keep on winning with Thoracle. So you like the people who are not winning immediately. So you agree with the Allurin ban. Desaru says, but what if someone uses that reanimate card that gives a hexproof and indestructible counter on this? They deserve to win. Did they ban all the enchantment removal too? No, they did not. They definitely didn't do that. Christopher B, I am completely fine with back to basics being banned. We need all the incentive for simple cards to see use. El Winter, I say that's a risk you have to take for that much power. Yeah, especially if you go for 5 colors. You go for 5 colors, you have to. How many people are going to be running back to basics? Fan Factor, why are people confused with Texas having a hockey team? Y'all have heard of ice houses? Because I've never met a Texan who cares about hockey. Oh, I have no idea where that came from. All right, back to basics is banned. It's banned. It ain't. I have a feeling based on the hate for land destruction, it's not coming back. Okay, then how do we feel about this one? Blood Moon. It's not exactly back to basics. It's slightly more fair. In some cases, it's not fair too. So Blood Moon, 3 mana, enchantment, non-basic lands or mountains. Now the plus side is that the plus side to Blood Moon is you get to untap your lands. So your mountains are basically colorless lands, effectively. The downside to Blood Moon versus Back to Basics is that actually, is there a big difference? Maybe there's not a difference. Blood Moon is just strictly worse. Yeah, it's just strictly worse than Back to Basics. Wow, I didn't realize Back to Basics is so powerful. Non-basic lands don't untap. Non-basic lands are mountains. Oh, of course, Blood Moon versus a red-ish deck will just use the mana. It's not like it even does anything at all to them. Steve Cooper's like, I'm fine with a non-basic land hate. Let's screw over those non-basic lands. Give red more tools. Gillum says, kind of deserved ban, LOL. Most people hate this card. Most people trying to do big things uninterrupted hate Blood Moon. Jeff says, I only hate Blood Moon when it interacts with another cards that we would need to discuss the layers system. I don't think the layers is complicated with Blood Moon. When Blood Moon is in play, like, there's no Urborg or Yavimaya Cradle of Growth layers issue with Blood Moon. If there's Blood Moon in play, whether the Yavimaya came in first or the Yavimaya came in second, it's a mountain. It's as simple as that. I think there's more confusion about that than there. I think there's more confusion about that than there should be. Blood Moon removes abilities, but it's still all right, says Kano. Also, with color identity, this screws over. Yeah, sort of. Magus of the basic. L Winter, I guess with Blood Moon, you can still play red stuff if you happen to be in that color. That's correct. Yeah, actually, when it comes to, okay, so like actually Blood Moon is, I guess it's weaker overall than Back to Basics, but it screws over your opponent less, but also screws you over less. Remember, Back to Basics hurts you too. So if you're going to use your non-basic lands, they better not be used to tap for mana. Both are great. Keep them both. Gillum says, doing big things uninterrupted is why you play Commander. If you wanted to win by attacking with a 2/2 10 times, you'd play Standard. Now, maybe we should pull some polls here. People like the polls. Blood Moon. Ban it. Don't ban. I'll just say fair. Let's have that. All right, you guys can see. Oh, I gotta move it. Just curious how people feel about these bannings here. Why kill? I like playing red. I hope other players do. To Blood Moon helps unban it. Marcio, that's his Oracle just to force blue players to get some creativity. Well, no, we're talking about this local game store's ban list, not your ban list. Gillum, I have nothing against the Poles. They make a good booze. Oh, you were talking about Poland. Answer Back to Basics with Back to Nature. There. For anyone that doesn't know, Back to Nature is a 2-mana, I think a sorcery or an instant. Destroy all enchantments, which would defeat Back to Basics. Also defeat Blood Moon. Okay, the poll is not on for very long, but it looks like it is a slam dunk that it's fair. The local game store has lost its mind to ban the Blood Moon. Next up, we got Burgeoning. Burgeoning. What the hell is this? Green enchantment. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Oh, it's Super Explore. I can't remember. Hold on. Wasn't there a card that everyone agreed was like super illegal? Because it was like pay one. It was, wasn't it? It was the one green card where you can like put all the lands from your hand onto the battlefield or something. Just so I was like, okay, this is dumb. Half the time it doesn't even do anything. But I'll tell you one thing that will work every single time, and that is buying at FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to get my Magic the Gathering cards. You can also get 20% off all dice this week. The deal of the week changes every week. But I'll tell you what's not going to change is that the coupon code to help you pre-order Marvel Superheroes, get your Secrets of Strixhaven cards, but also the Marvel Superhero cards. These cards are not banned yet. They're fresh, and they'll probably be legal even at that local game store. Use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all those Marvel cards, and of course, it supports the channel. And back to our regularly scheduled programming. So burgeoning. Yeah, whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Fast bond, that's what I was thinking of. What's the difference between this and fast bond and commander? And isn't fast bond banned? Yeah, it's banned. What is going on here? This thing's banned in commander. Like, what? You may play any number of lands on each of your turns whenever you play a land if it wasn't the first land. Okay, so I guess the deal is you can't abuse it on your first turn. But I mean, you basically dump your hand full of lands. Burgeoning on commander is up to 5 lands on turn 2. Yeah, I know, exactly. Will we get a stream rating the Star Treks? Eventually. Is it out? It's not out yet. We don't even have Marvel superheroes out yet. Fast bond costs you 1 life. Oh no! Oh, no, what? Actually, you're right. Fast bond is actually more fair. This card doesn't deal any damage to you for some reason. Old boy says, burgeoning player drops 3 lands and their hand is empty. Then they'll have to wait another turn cycle after they draw new lands. Fast bond should be legal. Well, you should have been there for the show when we were talking about fast bond. Everyone's like, no, it's completely broken. Burgeoning caps, fast bond doesn't. Oh, so the idea is that if you're a fast bond deck and you keep, like say you're Simic, you keep drawing cards, you keep drawing lands, you just keep playing them. Whereas burgeoning, it's sort of, you're not limited to 3 lands per turn. I mean, what if your opponent ramps on the same turn? Land, ramp into another land. Oh, no, it's not when a land enters play. Okay, so it'd have to be something like, what if everyone has a burgeoning? Like, I play a land. Well, I play a land. Well, you played a land, so I get to play a land. Just basically would say everybody can just dump their hand of lands. Mercenary, but this card requires your enemies to play their lands first. Oh, yes, I'm going to play around the burgeoning player by not curving out. We have Radamize with you need to keep a hand of lands. I don't think you have to need to keep that many. I mean, your deck probably is just a land dot deck if you're playing this card. Winter. Oh no, my 40 life. That's too little to pay for stuff. Fast bond, you can play any amount. You need your opponents to play lands first. It's strong, but not busted, in my opinion, says the filthy landfall player. Ah, yes, Steve Cooper. Well, then, okay. So what you're basically saying is, as a landfall player, you know the power of fast bond. You also know the power level of burgeoning. Reminder, this is a $36 card, which means it's good. Or like, I should say, it's not good. It means it's popular. Fan Factor says, it's weird starting a sentence with burgeoning. Yeah, burgeoning. Oh boy, burgeoning also puts only from hand. It doesn't play land. It doesn't work with Crucible. Surefire ourselves, putting a land onto the battlefield is not the same as playing a land per turn. Okay, that's actually a good point from Old Boy. So like what? Crucible plus Fast Bond is just like take all the lands out of your deck, right? For each 1 life. Oh, actually, you play a land that would cost you... Would that cost you an extra life? Maybe. Fetch. Did that work? Keep fetching from the graveyard? Basically shocking yourself. Kadrak, I think play does not equal put from hand into the battlefield. In this case, yeah, that's correct with burgeoning. The idea is more Crucible worlds and things. All right, gotcha. Marcio, there is also Journey to the Oracle to dump your hand. Okay, well, it sounds like people are in huge defense of burgeoning. And for some reason, no defense to Fast Bond. But you know what? They got this card banned. Oh my god, this is a card I hate. Carpet of Flowers. All right, so this is a card I can get behind getting banned. Just because it is... I want to say I've lost every single time this card has been played. I'm a blue deck with a lot of islands, and Carpet of Flowers is a green enchantment. During your main phase, you may add up to X mana of any one color to your mana pool, where X is the number of islands target opponent controls. This is an absolute beating for me. I'm always at this catastrophic mana disadvantage. I mean, it's devastating. And, like, my opponent can play just double or triple the spells. Stormy Cat is, I love this card with Quicksilver Fountain. That's quite a combo. Quicksilver Fountain puts, I believe, like flood counters on your opponent's lands, and then so it turns their lands into islands, so you just get more mana. Yeah, this Murph hates this card. I hate this card all formats. Fun factor, how do you know the difference between Canadian Highlander and competitive 1 versus 1 Highlander in reference to CEDH? If I understand, Canadian Highlander, it doesn't really have a ban list. It has a point system. So you get to play with Black Lotus. But you can only have but you're only allowed 10 points. And in that 10-point system, within that 10-point system, you can use get a Black Lotus, get a True Name Nemesis, get this and that. So you have to ration it. Whereas I'm not super familiar with competitive 1v1. It's also Highlander. I actually don't know if those are both Highlanders. I don't know the difference. I thought it was just competitive 1v1 CEDH. Kono says ban just because I run a lot of blue decks. There we go. The blue deck. So local game store owner must be blue player. This card is absurd when playing 1 versus. Oh yeah, it is. Old boy says gets worse if they also ban all the cards that turn lands into islands. Marcio, if the opponent is only using Moxes, burgeoning is useless. Rodham, the cards that need to be banned are partners. Nothing besides that matters. They are just always good. The one thing I hate about partners, people just have partners just for the sake of having that color of that partner in their deck so they can play more of that card spell. And the partner doesn't even have any utility outside of that. Or barely any utility. Bryce is a fan of Carpet. El Winter, the card sounds extremely specific. Most of the time, it won't do anything. What are you talking about? During your main phase, you may add up to X mana of any one color to your mana pool, where X is the number of islands target opponent controls. In Commander, there's going to be at least one person with islands. This is worth a ton of mana. Why are you so behind? Just catch up. Play lands. Everyone burgeoning does not set off a chain reaction. Is in response to burgeoning. Oh, I understand. That's right. So yeah, if everyone is playing burgeoning, they don't trigger off of each other. So it's like a bracket system. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. Crawdaddy, Recall is the only 8-point card. Oh, really? It's expensive. Big Brain is playing this in Simic with Harbinger of the Seas. Everyone gets islands, and you get a lot more mana. Highlander is 4 players. 1v1 is... Highlander is 4 players? No, I thought Canadian... No, Canadian is it Highlander... Oh, Highlander CEDH? Oh, I see. What the Canadian Highlander is 1 versus 1. Rodham, all 2 color ones need to be banned, and Rograk as a CDH player. It's just ban partner. Steve Cooper, isn't that like half the point of playing a partner just for the color identity? Well, that's a very weak point. I thought the idea of partner is like the 2 partners, they bounce off of each other. They got synergy. Okay, Carpeted Flowers, it's banned. It's funny, no, I guess it's considered ramp. That's why it's banned. They banned all the artifact ramp, and now they're banning the enchantment ramp. There's not a lot of enchantment ramp. Destructive Flow. What is this card? Destructive Flow is a 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-basic land. Holy cow! I never even heard of this card. Never, or maybe we've seen it a few times. This sounds so uncommon at the beginning of each player. This seems amazing. This card looks so good. I mean, this show is basically teaching you what all the good cards are. Mercenary has heard about this one. Probably because Mercenary played since Plane Shift. I opened a box of Plane Shift. I got a Phyrexian Scuda. Everyone said it was good, but I always thought it was bad, and in the end it was bad. Jeff says fair, but Gate deck's gonna hate this card. I mean, it's the land version of Braid's Cabal minion, right? And at one time, that was a very... it was a banned card, frankly. But then they unbanned it because you got a lot of you have a lot of permanents that you can sacrifice. And without a doubt, Destructive Flow looks like the weakest of land hate. It's only, well, it's a smokestack effect. Don't get me wrong. Hey there, Hunde Kuken. Hello, welcome. This card is scary, but I'll allow it. Gillum, oh no, not the gate play. All 5 gate players. Does anyone know a gate player? I don't. I don't know any. Christmas. This is the card I get after Taco Bell. Oh, the destructive flow. Oh boy, I'm not sure I own a single EDH deck I could run at this local game store. We have a little bit more of a competitive crowd here. Ykill says, Destructive Float should be banned. It is all the feel bads. Really? Rodham says, this is just stupid. If people don't want to play things, then just don't play them. Why ban when the cards are unplayable and just salty? If you want to be salty, you'd find a way. I think the idea is if you ban enough land destruction, people will just go to like the third, fourth best land destruction cards if necessary, if they want to still play like a Staxy type of deck, and Destructive Flow is just the next one down on the line. I really don't think we can ban because of salt. Non-basic land, only basic lands? Oh, that's true. So again, if you build a deck around just purely basic lands, you completely play around this card. Steve Cooper's like, I've been building gates for ages, but haven't played yet. You have the deck, but has not been unleashed. This is fair, just needs more than Bloodbraid. Gillum says, Gates players are a myth, the same as with Simic players. What? Oh, like sane Simic players. So they're only insane Simic players. Crawdaddy, run Flagstones of Trocaire. Yeah, lands that you sacrifice anyway. This on a Child of Alara deck would be a nightmare. Oh my goodness. All right, Destructive Flow. I don't know. Destroyed one too many non-basic lands. Next, we've got Doubling Season. What's up with it? Okay, I think this is... Let's get Doubling Season. Doubling Season is banned. Which is funny. I figure... I don't know if this is ban-worthy. This seems like one of the more... Well, okay, on one hand, it's like a super funsy card for people to get more counters, more of the same effects that they love. On the other hand, it's like, it's potentially a combo, because this plus a lot of Planeswalkers is almost GG. Yeah, it's like, it's Planeswalker, it always allows Planeswalkers to reach their ultimate immediately, and I mean, at that point, it's game over. Pack it up, everybody. Doubling Season is super fine, usually just becomes a removal magnet. Well, if there's one thing I've learned about this ban list, it's assuming nobody has removal. Like nobody wants to play as removal. Who cares about Back to Basics? It's just Back to Basics is too powerful because of the removal. Okay, let's look at Doubling Season. Actually, say okay, doubling. I'm gonna do a poll here. Keep banned, unban it. We have to look at it in the perspective of this thing is already banned. I don't know how many people feel strongly or poorly about this. Old Boy says, don't know if hot take, but Doubling Season is a bad card in most scenarios. Kano says, this is one of the granddaddies of jank, it's fine. Rodham, it's literally someone who plays one or two only. I don't understand that. I play Tameo in CEDH and use Radstorm. Winner says, like 90% of the cards are enchantments. Just play removal. Bryce, why ban Doubling Season? It's only good in Super Friends decks. Otherwise, I think it's bad. I could see it in a world of like just like a super, not like the closest I can think of is Hardened Scales, but like a deck that just depends on counters and you double the counters like crazy and basically doubling the value. If Doubling Season is banned, why would I buy one from this local game store? Said Steve Cooper. Yeah, they've capped their profit on Doubling Season. They just don't have it on the buy list. We don't buy Doubling Season around here because it's banned. Crawdaddy, of note, it doesn't double the amount of counters added for activations. Okay, that's true. Yeah, only when it would come into play. So no, if an effect would create one or more tokens on your, if an effect would put one or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many counters. It doesn't double the amount of counters added for Really? That's not how I understand this. I've never seen a game in our local game store that had Doubling Season last for more than 2 turn cycles. Or what are you trying to say? Like they died or you died? Old Boy says, I only played in Slime Against Humanity since it lets you double dip, giving you X2 tokens. Gillum says it's stronger than most cards banned by that local game store. All right, someone understands the power of doubling season, and based on our poll, it seems like it should be unbanned. But I'll tell you one thing, and if it does get banned and you happen to own it, it's not a big problem when you rent with Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online. The one best thing about renting cards is if your cards get banned for any reason, like who cares? Just send them back and rent a new deck, rent anything that you want. You have no fear of renting any deck when you're renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using coupon code Nikachu_Z4M for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. All right, next card is Earthcraft. I gotta pick up the pace here. Earthcraft, 2-mana enchantment. Tap an untapped creature you control, untap target basic land. I think it's just banned for being a combo card. They don't say, it's like no two card combos, no land destruction, no this, no that. So the games are not allowed to end. The games are basically not allowed to end in a single shot. If I understand it, this doesn't actually make a combo, right? Tap an untapped creature you control, untap target basic land. So you would need what? Earthcraft. Then you need to enchant a land with something that then, if you tap it, you untap a creature. Oh yeah, Thassa's Oracle. Actually, do we know if Thassa's Oracle's banned? We are not at the creatures yet. I would be very surprised if Thassa's Oracle somehow survived the ban list. Well, actually, they banned so many other cards. Thassa's Oracle might be fair at this point. It's the Nest combo deck, Squirrel's Nest. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you get a token from Squirrel Nest. You tap the token. You get to untap the basic land that you put the Squirrel Nest on. That's right. Squirrel Nest. So sad. The Squirrel Nest combo. Who would win? An Eldrazi or 1 million squirrels? 100 million squirrels. Thanks to Earthcraft. Earthcraft is just a generic good ramp that turns any creatures into haste dorks. So what? So what? That we already have stuff like that, right? We have a 1-mana version of that. We have a lot of cards that make everything have haste. What kind of jank is this? Oh, it's super jank. Squirrel Nest combo, let's go! It goes infinite with Squirrel Nest. All right, that's the only reason it's banned. I would say that's a very loose reason to ban this card. Okay, next up, we've got... Oh my goodness. Why? I don't get this. Enchanted Evening, 5 mana. All permanents are enchantments in addition to their other types. Okay, I'm confused. I don't understand why this would be banned, like, at all. Oh, happy birthday, Mudasir! Fan Factor says this local game store might have a fun police alarm. If enough people press it during a match, the card gets banned. That's possible. Alert, alert! We lost to Enchanted Evening somehow. I guess it's... Yeah, is what Fan Factor is saying here, planar cleansing. So, any mass enchantment removal, but then it would remove your stuff too. Unless there are some cards that are like destroy all other enchantments. All enchantments you don't control or some crap like that. Because of Aura Thief? I don't think Mind Control is banned here. This local game store does not seem to have a problem with stealing other people's stuff, because then we would have seen a lot of other cards banned earlier. I thought we aren't on removal. That's the only reason it would do anything. Yeah. To quote myself, oh no, a 5-man enchantment. It's too good. Oh no. Steve Cooper has the same birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Steve Cooper. Everyone's having birthdays today. Crawdaddy, probably when a creature puts a token into play that is an enchantment ending in a draw. Probably. Land destruct. Oh, I think Simcoe Sports is catching on to something. It technically turns the lands into an enchantment, which means you can destroy them. And destroying lands at this local game store is a big no-no. You destroy lands, it's illegal around here. It's a law. You cannot destroy lands. But if there's enchantment removal, why are there other enchantments is a problem. Well, the thing is that they don't want you. No one's running enchant removal for the Enchanted Evening. This game store bans cards I've never seen play besides maybe 2 or 3 cards. Is Commandeer banned? I don't think so. We didn't see it on the instance part. Jeff, it's only strong on Constellation decks? Probably. Wow, this is a weird... This is such a weird ban. Anyway, Enchanted Evening is banned here. Okay, here we go. Maybe some people can get behind this. Exploration. Green enchantment. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. I don't know. Between this, Fastbond, this seems like way weaker than the Burgeoning. I can understand you don't have to wait for your opponent. But, yeah, no ramp. It's sort of like a Soul Ring. You know, you played a land, you play this, you play another land. You got 2 land in play on 1 turn. Effectively Soul Ring. Mudasir is like, this owner once got beat by Enchantress and thought it was the most broken thing ever. To be honest, when you're up against Enchantress and when it gets the right pieces out, you can't do anything. Like, you can't do anything about it. It's very... I hate losing to Enchantress. Don't get me wrong, I beat Enchantress a lot, but you feel so powerless when you are losing to Enchantress. So it's like basically playing against a combo deck. Yeah, this local game store doesn't run enchant removal. They never heard of Back to Basics. Never happened. No, sorry, not Back to Nature. Maybe the owner got beat by a weird Opalescence combo. It's also possible. People say this is super harmless. Weak. Can't argue against this. Most nothing burger of the landfall decks. Well, says the landfall player, Steve Cooper. Kadrak, better banned against Arcane Signet, 1 extra mana. Yeah. Crawdaddy. Oh, hell no, I'm never playing here. Exploration is one of my favorite cards ever. Blue, Bomber. I see this local game store still hates ramping. No ramp allowed. No extra mana. You play your lands 1 at a time. Oh boy, I think it's better than Burgeoning since it works with Crucible effects so you never run dry. Okay. This plus fetch lands are broken. Bryce, this isn't even game changer worthy. Why kill? Exploration is fine. Surefire Selves, I feel like this local game store needs to learn that bans should be done in context. Look, there is a world, everyone, that once you start banning a bunch of cards, certain cards become like super overpowered compared to everything else. Just letting everyone know. Like, you know, you ban 50 cards and all of a sudden Exploration is just insane. Rodham says Enchantress aren't blue, they are white and green. They are. Surefire Selves, intent is huge, especially brackets. Burgeoning usually is better than Exploration. Christopher B says, does anyone else wonder if the inevitable Amora card from Marvel will function like MTG Enchantress? I have no idea. Okay, Exploration is banned. It is no ramping allowed. Okay, next we have Fall of the Thuran. Fall of the Thuran. What? Oh, 6 mana, first chapter, destroy all lands. I get the second, third chapter. It might as well be blank. It doesn't matter. So what? Like, I guess, yeah, it doesn't matter how much something costs. They'll ban it. Chapter 2 and 3. Each player returns 2 lands from their graveyard to the battlefield. Look, they get the lands back. Who cares? They get the lands back, and they still wanted to ban it anyway. Here we go again, says Kano. You can cheese this so your opponent doesn't get lands back. Really? Oh, you mean like... Oh, so like you have some sort of graveyard hate? So you exile their land so they can't get them back? Okay, by their laws makes sense. Oh yeah, by their laws this makes super sense. Protopon, if we just start banning cards on wholesale, MTG becomes Yu-Gi-Oh! We got Jormu. Talking to Surefire Selves. Fall of the Thran is fair. Sack Saga, no Chapter 2. Huh? Oh, you're talking. Oh, sacrifice this enchantment, and then we don't get the lands back. That's right. This would be so annoying, but like it's like 6 mana. Well, to be honest, 6 mana is like nothing in Commander. You know, like 6 mana is. This is vintage for crying out loud. But although I will say, it's not like vintage at this local game store because all the ramp is banned. So 6 mana is like impossible. In fact, I would even argue most decks under these circumstances aren't even running enough lands to curve into 6 lands. It would never happen. Marcio, Follow the Thran works well with indestructible lands. Oh, a cool idea. Used to be a combo in Arena with this. And Jormu, using Shifting Woodland to turn it into a Fall of the Thran in your upkeep. Very, very clever. All right. Fall of the Thran also banned. Next, we've got... I don't even think we can get through all these cards today. Food Chain! This is a 3-mana enchantment. Exile a card you control, add X mana of any one color, where X is 1 plus the exiled creature's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. Again, this is like a no combo card thing. If you have Mist, what is this? Mist something Griffin? Mist Hollow Griffin. Yeah, this flying, you may cast Mist Hollow Griffin from exile. So you exile this with Food Chain. You get like 1 extra mana. You can keep playing it over and over again, have infinite mana. With infinite mana, you probably win the game. Crawdaddy. Anyone else get the feeling that everyone who loses a game gets to add a card to the ban list? Wow, that would be terrible. Because you're very likely banning a card that somebody owns. So slowly everyone's just losing cards. Mauricio, I want to use it with Core Tapper and destroy all lands every turn. You know, just thinking, what if you have like a Commander Championship once in a while, like say quarterly, and the prize is banning a card? Because obviously you can't like ban a card, I don't know, every month or every week, because then that would, you know, the ban list would fill up super fast. But what if you could ban a card like once every quarter, maybe even once every year? Surefire says nobody is using this fairly. That is true. Mercenary Food Chains had a combo to it, but not so great. No more. Blue Bomber, you can also Squee combo with it too. Oh, that's true. Good old, yeah, Squee the Immortal. There's a lot of Squees out there. The one that you can play from exile. Yeah, you can cast Squee the Immortal from your graveyard or from exile. Shoot him off into space. He's not going to be happy about being immortal then. This is the fairest card I've seen. Sim, with infinite mana, play your Enchanted Evening game on the spot. What? You don't need to win with just Enchanted Evening. Maddie Matson. That's not a ban list. It's a ban tome. No way this fits on a single sheet of paper. Marcio says banning or unbanning a card. Okay, that's literally... Yeah, it's literally win more. Ban list will be as long as the Sumerian Kings list. Surefire Self's talking about... It has some argument in chat. If I'm running Crucible Worlds in a deck that has green in it, I will usually play Exploration or any of the other creatures that have the same effect and abuse fetch lands. Surefire Self's trying to make a point here. Crawdaddy goes infinite with Prosh. Ykill says slowly everyone loses a card to the ban list is great incentive to sell bulk rares. But yeah, but no, I don't. You know, while that sounds like a good idea in theory, it's a terrible idea in practice because local game stores would rather sell like, you know, doubling season to you a million times. Like, sell you doubling season. Okay, then you're done with your doubling season deck. You sell it back to the game store, and then you resell doubling season. Because that, like, they don't. I don't think game stores make a whole lot of money off of bulk rares. They like to sell. I like to sell stuff that's like $5, $10, $20, $30. They like to sell that stuff. Food Chain is a 1-card combo in Rocco. Really, Jormu. Or sorry, it's Jormung or Yormung. Old boy and Surefire Self is just duking it out. What is this? Totally a personal preference thing. I remember both cards having around the same win rates in Vintage Cube, but that's probably because they go in the same deck. DRDCA says, does Micro fish count as a single sheet of paper? I don't understand. Food Chain and Eternal Scourge, says Bryce. Mercenary says, local game stores want to sell everything to min-max profits. Well, if they can. There's, you know, sometimes I go to a local game store, they won't buy my bulk rares. Why? Because they have to organize them. It actually takes more time to organize them, to resell them for like 25 cents. I mean, unless they put in a big bin, but at some point the bin gets too big. We're talking about burgeoning versus exploration. What's better, burgeoning or exploration? For everyone on the replay, you gotta let me know in the comment section below. Steve Cooper says, I've never noticed how graphic that Hydra tearing that guy up is. Some art is just so dark you can't see it very well. It's very funny, actually. I say that it's so dark, and it's by the artist called it Darken. Yeah, they're being torn up. This could be literally another art for Dismember. Okay, Food Chain is banned. Combo not allowed. Next. Where are we going on to? Ooh. Everyone will understand this one. Freed from the Real. I'd like it in English, please, and clear. Freed from the Real, 3-mana enchantment. Pay a blue, tap enchanted creature. Pay another blue, untap enchanted creature. And if the creature that you're enchanting taps for maybe 2 mana or a blue and a green, then this goes infinite. I'm sure this also goes infinite with, I mean, it's also, I'm certain to be a combo card if you create infinite mana and you have like some sort of creature on the battlefield that has some tap ability that can deal damage or make someone lose life, and then you just win the game on the spot here. Yeah, people are being dismembered in art, but still no kissing. We do have one, we officially have one kissing card, remember? Final Fantasy created the first kissing card. So I don't know what promoted them to break the streak, but we have one kissy card in all of Magic the Gathering. Old Boy says, I can't fathom how there actually are professional card market sellers that list cards for two cents. Yeah, I don't get I mean, it's like, I think it's a means of, let's say you want to buy a card for 2 cents, then you'd like look at that person's like list of cards and you start thinking, okay, what else can I get from this seller, because I don't want to pay like 3 to 5 euros for shipping for a 2-cent card, right? So the I'm not a seller, so I'm just speculating that it's just an incentive to you came for this one 2-cent card, but you're gonna stay to buy like, you know, $20 of other cards just to make your shipping worth it. But I'm not a seller, so I have no idea. They're just being a nice game store. Jeff, if this card is banned, did they ban Penman Zoro too? Probably. Marcio says, Agatha Soul Cauldron, make it go infinite with billions of cards. Crawdaddy says, Microfiche is the microprint that old newspapers were archived on. You would go to the library and use those microscopes. Yeah, but what does that have to do with the show? Trip Fontaine, a local game store near me has a Commander League where you compete for points, and you get less points if you win with any of several cheesy combos. You get less points. Oh, interesting. So they disincentivize you to play with things like Freed from the Real. If you win a fair way, the good old-fashioned way, you should get extra points for winning with commander damage. Extra points. Old Boy says, I had a seller ask me to cancel my order because I ordered 150 cards all under 10 cents. See, look, they want to keep their inventory. That's like the worm that they cast out to get the sellers. They get a bite. You're eating all the worms. They can't get any fish. El Winter, they probably sell in bulk. I doubt people literally just buy a single card for a few cents. Yeah. Apparently the person that buys in bulk is Old Boy here. Rodham, it's fine. They're just a fun police. I don't get how people think that these cards are good. People complain on things that are unplayable in anything that is competitive. It's casual play, whatever. Well, okay, so I understand their mentality. The idea is, okay, I'm building up a board. I'm going for a big win. Then all of a sudden, someone like just combos off, and then the game's over. It's like it's so anticlimactic. Not to mention if someone is a good combo player, they're going to be really sneaky with the combo cards. Like they'll throw out some some components of the combo that are not obvious, and then when people are tapped down enough and they have enough mana, they'd be like, freed from the real, play this creature with an activated ability, combo off. Game is over. Jeff says freed from the real should be banned. For Kinnan. Oh, okay. Microfiche is how you would keep this banned list on a single page. Oh, well, the text can just be tinier. Christopher B, maybe because cards are so wordy, some people need microfiche readers to get details. So historical nets you negative 1,000 points. Yeah, there could be a point system where if you win with certain cards, you just go into the negative. We have Simcoe with 2-card infinite combos should be banned. I don't know is there a 2-card infinite combo with this? There's probably a few. But I'm thinking mostly they're 3-card combos. That's how MTG goes, says Republic. That's just how it is. All right, freed from the real. You're a combo card, and because you're a combo card, you've hit the bucket. You've kicked the bucket. This is an interesting one. Hall of Gemstone. We learned about this card on this show. It was a cheap. I wonder if it's gone up in value since this show. Because if I remember, it was like super dirt cheap, and it's still pretty dirt cheap for a reserve list card being $15. It's a 3-mana enchant world. During each player's upkeep, that player chooses a color. Until end of turn, each mana-producing land produces mana of the chosen color instead of its normal mana. So we basically sort of screw people. Okay, during each player's upkeep, that player chooses a color. So you can sort of screw with mana, but you can also fix mana. You can also fix mana with this card. Too OP of a combo piece. I think you're talking about freed from the rail. So far, this is a cards I like to play show. Crawdaddy, well, I don't care about this. World enchantments have weird rules. Oh, we're not gonna ban it just because of that. Rodham, they prevent it. That's what we do. You know, just like me, that it's like saying that true name Nemesis should be banned in Legacy. Oh my god. Don't ban my true name. My beloved true name. El Winter, what? He is a world... Huh? A world is a world enchantment? Never heard of it? Oh, what? Oh, what the hell? Yeah, world enchantments. There can only be one world enchantment on the board at a single time. But now I don't know how it works. Like, if there's a world enchantment, is it that you can't play another world enchantment? Or when the new world enchantment comes into play, the old world enchantment leaves? I don't remember how the rules work. Because I don't play with world enchantments. Connor says, unban this and Blood Moon so they can interact with each other. Mudasir, owner, was once playing a 5-color commander and came across this card, probably against that same Enchantress player. Wave your 5 colors. You probably don't get screwed by this that badly. Until in turn, each mana-producing land produces mana of the chosen color. Oh, no, wait. Oh, it does screw with you. Yeah, you can own each land. Anything that produces mana can only produces 1 color of mana. Oh, okay, this is basically land destruction. It's effectively land destruction. No, God, please, messing with people's lands again. Marcio with the huge super chat. Thanks so much, Marcio. On my play pod, we've categorized our decks between combo optimized or not, and we only play against the same style of deck. 2 very different kind of game paces, but both very fun to play against. You know what? You're the very first person ever to, you know, say something like this. Like, okay, we recognize there are 2 power levels in this game. There's just no all in to win, or, you know, slow and steady wins the race. And you have a rule 0 put in place with all your friends that gets to get the best of both worlds. Because, like, what's the point of playing with the all-in deck versus the slow and steady wins the race decks when they'd be a massive disadvantage? More so land, yeah, big time land neutering. Fan factor, what if you choose a non-magic color? I don't think you're allowed to. Or maybe you can? Nah, you probably can't. You're probably limited to like the real colors. Steve Cooper, I suppose if all your removal is multicolor for some reason, you're locked, but how often will that come up? I don't think you're locked. I'll tell you why. It says during each player's upkeep, that player chooses a color. If it's a sorcery speed card, you're locked. But if it's an instant speed card, you're not, because you can cast it at your upkeep. Or sorry, and also cast it at everybody else's upkeep. Because this effect only lasts until end of turn. Is it exactly end of turn? End of turn. There's so much end of turn. Yeah, until end of turn. Sometimes it's the beginning of your end step. When is it really the end of your turn? The turn ends, the turn keeps going on even at the end of your turn. Casually competitive, love it. You could just use mana rocks against this. Could you choose purple? I don't think you're allowed to choose purple. Everyone loves purple. They've been waiting for purple to come out in Magic, but they're not going to give it to you. Oh boy, to be fair to the local game store, once you ban all mana rocks, this gets better. A lot better. Okay, Trip Fontaine says, the new enchant world kills the old enchant world. Okay, just like the legend rule. It's like the original legend rule, which has... Oh, sorry, it's like the old legend rule, which has changed like 3 times, maybe 4 times. Legend rule keeps moving. They can't stick to one rule. Matty Matson, at this point, I would just play stacks to really mess with people. How? They've banned all the stacks cards as far as I'm concerned. Oh boy, there are five colors in the Magic game: white, blue, black, red, and green. All right, and a colorless. That's the best way we got. Holo Gemstone is banned for very, 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 very silly reasons. Okay, next up. Oh, I did not see this card. This is a very new card. Humility. You're humiliated. For 4 mana, all creatures lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1. This is a unique card in this entire ban list. We have not seen an effect like this at all. Like, they didn't even mention Dress Down earlier. I guess because Dress Down just happens until end of turn. This one's permanent. How do people... Okay, actually, this is a good poll one, I think. Let's ask the community. We'll do a new poll. Humility. Are we gonna keep it banned or are we gonna unban it? It's a weird card. It basically says all your stuff does nothing and all your creatures are nothing. Simcoe, how much worse is this than Wrath of God? Well, at least if you wipe the board with Wrath of God, your future creatures still do things. Whereas with Humility, your current and future creatures do nothing. They're all 1/1s. Oops. Bryce says this card is a card that isn't fun to play against. Oh yeah, this is a super feel bad card. I mean, unless you don't play with creatures. It's banned because of layers. Now this is definitely a layers problem. This is you need to be a level 3 judge to play with this card. They probably should have a clause on here like you cannot play this card unless you are a level 3 judge. Oh boy, all your overturned 2026 creatures are now fair. Yeah, everything has become fair. Steve Cooper, this has Layers Night. It is a Layers Nightmare card. You know, it's possible they do not have a judge on staff at a high enough level to police this damn thing. Therefore, you know what? We don't know how this card works. We're banning it. Like, we just don't know. And we don't want to be making stuff up here and looking. And you know what? AI online doesn't know how any of the layers work either. So we just can't use it. El Winter, can you tell us what happens when Opalescence and Humility without looking it up? No, I can't tell you. I have no idea. Put a gun to my head, I would not be able to answer you. We got, yeah, it appears the old Gamers Wharf ban list. Yeah, I think so, but it's not confirmed, which has since been removed from their site. Unsure if it's still in place. Well, this ban list came from somewhere. So this ban list is like public somewhere. Marcio, does Kudo King Among Bears go over it in layers? Where's Kudo? Kudo! Look, you guys are 50-50 on this card. Pretty amazing. Other creatures have base power and toughness 2/2 and are bears in addition to the other types. I don't know. You know, I just don't know. I don't know which layers matter, which layers don't. Kudo is more fair because it doesn't restrict abilities, just base power and toughness. Fun with Elish Norn and Grand Cenobite. What the hell? My typos are rough. I have 4 hours of sleep. Whoa, did you have an early birthday party, Steve Cooper? You need to get some rest for that next birthday party. What is the morph version of this where you flip it face up? Everything is face down 2-2. Oh, is that Ixodron thing? Ixodron. Is it Ixodron? Ixodron? Ixidron? This thing? Enters the battlefield, turn all other... Oh, it doesn't turn face up, though. It's just when it enters the battlefield. But it also doesn't really make their stuff lose all abilities. It just turns them face down and into 2-2s, which is a very different effect. They don't have an ability to become the bears. Okay. Someone told you earlier Blood Moon and layers are messy. That's exactly humility with Opalescence and Blood Moon. Blood Moon, I don't think Blood Moon and layers are that messy. Humility is way worse, in my opinion. Way, way, way worse. And you know what? You guys actually agree. We have a 50-50 wants a banned. So it's going to be banned. This is like the first card, I think. It's not a unanimous agreement, by all means, but it is somewhat of an agreement. Okay, that's it for today, everyone. Man, we didn't even get through all the enchantments. Still have more enchantments to go. But I'll tell you what's not gonna go. The show, we do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, or Tuesdays, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. I so much love and appreciate everyone over here. With people like Winner and Mercenary, Lil Deadfly, Kano. We got Simcoe, Steve Cooper, and M. Mudasir. Happy birthday to both of you. Marcio, Jeff, Christopher B, Maddie Matson, oh boy, Trip Fontaine, Marcio, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees. And we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.